Hey guys, it's Tiffanie Danley with TD Realty Group at Keller Williams Realty Professionals, and I'm here to drop some home buying knowledge on you. Luckily for us, I have my home inspector, Andrew, here today with us to tell us what to look for in a home inspection.
My name is Andrew Tewson. I started Slopeside Home Inspections a little over 4 years ago. I live in Vancouver, Washington, and I'm also licensed in Portland or Oregon as well. So I do probably about 50% of my business in the Portland area as well.
Yeah. Andrew's great. He's been doing my home inspections for me for several years and he knows his stuff. So Andrew, let's get right down to it.
Okay.
What are some of the big things that come up in a home inspection that a buyer should look out for?
So I think number one, and probably something that's on everybody's radar, is the foundation. I think that's a big one when looking at a home. And so one of the things to look for are just large cracks in the foundation. And usually that's anything larger than about 1/2 of an inch. But as Tiffany knows, and we see all the time, like cracks that are, maybe 1/4 inch, maybe close to 1/2 inch, that a lot of times they may be just a settlement crack that's, gotten bigger over time, that just needs kind of an epoxy to be filled. But yeah, large cracks, and cracks that are larger at the top and then they get smaller at the bottom is known as a differential crack. So that's something to look out for. But that's certainly, large cracks in a foundation is definitely something to look out for.
And Andrew, you've mentioned to me before, if it's a foundation issue, we might also see cracks coming off the windows or off the doors and such.
Absolutely. So with the larger cracks or differential cracks, that essentially is saying that one portion of the home is settling more than the other. So exactly like Tiffany said, you'll get cracks, doors and windows, and a lot of times you call them step cracking. So they kind of look like a step or a stairs cracking. And those are something to look out for sure.
Yeah.
So one thing being where we live in the Pacific Northwest, we get a lot of rain. So something that I see all the time on wood siding, if it has been neglected, paint has been neglected, is I'll see rot or soft spots in the siding. So if you have wood siding, it is certainly important, or any sort of composite siding, I should say, to just keep it painted is really important.
Right. Yeah, I feel like some of those things are easy to fix, but when you've had water getting into the siding, if it's not caulked or something.
Absolutely, or caulked, yes.
Yeah, you tend to worry about what's going on underneath the siding as well, right?
For sure, absolutely. So, and just like Tiffany said, that's a big one in our area is window trim where it meets the siding, is it should be caulked, and a lot of times over years the caulk just deteriorates, and that does, it's an easy point for water to get in. But yeah, so keeping up with that kind of maintenance stuff is really important.
Yeah. What do you think about like the roof or anything like that?
So I would say, we talked about earlier, is just sometimes a bad installation for a roof, and some of the things to look out for are, an obvious one is just if the sheets or the shingles have been installed not uniformly, or they're just kind of angled a little bit, or not even, is something to look out for. Also nails that aren't properly nailed down, and so they might be sticking up a bit, and they can raise the shingle up a bit, and then that can just be a way for water to get in, or in high winds potentially just blowing the shingles off. So those are a few things to look out for.
Yeah, I've heard you mention like flashing missing, or like the ends of the roof, like the flashing that goes into the gutter is sometimes not right.
Absolutely. Something I see all the time is drip edge flashing, as Tiffany mentioned, just kind of goes right over the gutter, and that just keeps water from wicking up into the eaves. And then, or rake edge flashing also, which goes along kind of the fascia board, which does the same thing. But yes, those are really important pieces of hardware to keep water out of roofs, and commonly they're not installed.
I mean, new roofs can cost anywhere from 10 to 20, 25, I mean, even more in some cases. So just because it's a newer roof, we want to make sure that it's installed, correctly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's see. And along with water is our theme here in Portland. What about like water in the crawl space?
So water, guys, in the crawl space is something I see fairly often in the wintertime for sure. And some of it can be due to just poor site drainage around a home, meaning it's just not properly draining. But if you have, a fair amount of water down there, that can certainly be an issue or a red flag. It can cause mold. It can attract, wood destroying organisms.
Yes.
That can do damage
Rodents.
to rodents, absolutely. And also, if water's down there a long time, you'll see the concrete footers settle, and then you can lose contact between the posts and the beams. So it can definitely do some damage for sure.
Yeah, and again, those repairs can be a little costly depending on what's really going on and what's causing the problem down there.
For sure.
Yeah. I don't know, so that was great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure. You're welcome.
Those are some of the big things that we look out for. Andrew is really awesome at taking the time to go through the full property and make sure that my home buyers know the most about the property and can make an informed decision going forward. So, Andrew, thank you so much for your time.
Anytime. Thanks, Tiffany.
What's the best way that someone can get a hold of you if they want to hire you?
So the best way is probably just my website, which is Slopeside Inspections, plural.com. And you can actually book inspections right online, which Tiffany does, which makes it super easy. And then all my contacts on there as well. So
yeah, I mean, they could just hire me and I would hire you.
True.
And that would
True.
be great.
There you go. You get both of us.
Teamwork. Yeah. All right. Awesome. Well, thanks everyone for taking the time to watch. If you have any more questions about the home buying process or looking to buy, sell, invest in real estate in the Portland metro area, please reach out to me. My website is tdrealtygroup.com or send me a direct message. Thanks so much.
Thanks, guys.